So
I feel like I'm on Love Is right
right.
now.
This
Yeah.
is how they were, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that communication, not with just husband and wife, is extremely important in any relationship. Um, Between your spouse, your children, your coworkers, um, whoever it is that you cross paths with, I think that communication is key to that relationship flourishing. I know that sometimes when, like, if we have an issue, if I don't verbalize and tell you, then you'll never know what it is. I could walk around all day or all week with my lips pursed with an attitude, but if I don't tell you what it is that's going on with me or what has bothered me, then you'll never know what it is, so that we can approach it and fix it.
I agree. And then one thing about communication as well is we communicate in different ways, and I think that's one of the things that we kind of discount that sometimes.
Yeah.
Such as some people, I guess you can kind of tie into the 5 love languages, gift giving and acts of service and all this stuff. But sometimes we don't articulate what we mean properly. Especially, I know one thing. A lot of times, as a man, I talk to my friends way different than you talk to your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's just an example.
Yeah.
Just very, it's quick, it's brief, and I can say something. I'm good, and my friend, I'm good too, man. Okay, we cool. But I know with you, you like to go in depth, and you want to know exactly how I feel. And the problem is, for a person who does not articulate their feelings well, then that becomes difficult. Or you don't really have the words to verbalize how you're feeling. That becomes difficult. So sometimes it's that frustration that adds to things, which makes communication, or it adds one more barrier to communication.
And my thing to that is, what's a way to get better at anything? You have to practice it. So the more you do it, the better you'll become at it. So the more we communicate, or the more we at least attempt to, address issues,
Mm-hmm.
the better we'll get at communicating with each other.
True.
And your, oh, I'm good, will become more of, well, this is what's bothering me. Or I don't like it when you do that. Or do this.
Most times. Sometimes I just want to stay out of trouble.
Do you think?
But no, I agree with you, because and the thing about is, communication should be an evolutionary thing, or it's an evolving thing, really,
Mm-hmm.
where you talk one way, or you develop to that point of comfortability or openness. I guess I can look at it the same way with any relationship. As you grow older, that communication should just be smoother. There should be understandings there, because there are so many other things that are in the background of communication. Don't worry, I'm not going to mess up your couch. There's so many other things that are in the background of communication that we don't even think about. Just gestures, attitudes, understandings, similar, like any other relationship. As you grow in that comfortability. Your relationship evolves over time. The communication evolves over time. Even if you look at, and not just husband and wife, but if you look at parent and child relationships, as the child gets older and they're understanding more, and their understanding and their parents' understanding is starting to, the parents understand, it's not going to always go down, but as the child's understanding is coming up, it starts to level out. So now the communication is different. When it's here and here, now the parent has to direct the child more and more. But as the child's understanding grows and grows, now they're on that same level, and the communication changes. It's the same way for husband and wife. As we grow and we grow and we grow, your communication level might be here, mine might be here, but our understandings might be somewhere in the middle. But as we kind of level out and we find that happy medium, that's what makes the communication better. The problem is, I think sometimes, is we give up whether it's the person that gives up here or the person that's down here gives up. They might give up from a lack of understanding. This person might give up for a lack of frustration. And then that's what causes like divorce or separation or things like that, is that frustration or that lack of understanding creates a conflict. And when you have that conflict, then you have problems. But when you have patience, and this one has patience, and there's encouragement there, that's when you can kind of level out.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's
exactly.
where, not exactly, but patience. Now you're bringing up a whole nother segment. But patience is huge in any of the relationships that you have daily in day-to-day life. So communication and patience, and you said some other word.
I don't know what it was. I just started talking. Frustration, encouragement. That's the number one thing. Encouragement. I have to believe, and I know with you, you have to believe that I have the capabilities of getting there sometimes. And that's not, it's not man bashing, it's not woman bashing, but I'm not a communicator like that.
You're better though.
Thank you. Exactly.
You're much better.
That's it right there. Like believing that, okay, this person can get there. Once we cut off in our minds that a person can get somewhere, then you take out the faith and the encouragement that they're going to get better and better. But you have to believe first that they're going to get there. And you have to encourage them sometimes. There are people, for example, and I use something real pedestrian. There are people who say, okay, my wife can't cook, my husband can't cook. And they leave it at that. They cannot cook. Every time that husband tries to cook, he burns everything up. Everything that wife tries to cook, she tears everything up. Well, you know what? The encouraging person will say, okay, let me get in the kitchen with you and show you a couple of things. Not only that, let me buy you a couple cookbooks. Okay? You know what? You make real good pancakes. Might not be spaghetti, might not be.
I like the good things.
But yeah, exactly. Encourage them in the things that they can do. And then you build on that. Sometimes with communication, it's like that. A person may communicate about certain things. There are certain people who communicate great about sports. They don't communicate great about their feelings. Well, if they use a sports analogy to communicate their feelings, then guess what? Let them use it. You might not know much about sports, but just try to get the analogy. Encourage them. Encourage. That's the only way we're going to keep going at this.
I agree. Good job. I like that. I just encouraged you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I thought you would come with something else after that.
No. I think that's good.
Okay. That's the